This is Year 6 Maths for Thursday the 11th of June, and the learning objective is I can use my knowledge of ratio and proportion to solve problems. Hi Year 6. Today we're going to be using the work we've done on ratio and proportion and scaling to solve some different problems. So let's have a look at the first one. This is a recipe for scones and it serves 4 people. You'll need 200 grams of flour, 50 grams of butter, 100 millilitres of milk and 60 raisins. If this recipe is for 4 people, how much of each ingredient would I need for 8 people? So I've noticed that if I go from doing a recipe for 4 people to 8 people, then I multiply the number of people by 2. So I need to do the same for all of the ingredients. Pause the video and have a try at scaling up this recipe so that it is for 8 people. So you should have found that for 8 people, you'll need 400 grams of flour, 100 grams of butter, 200 millilitres of milk and 120 raisins. What about if there were 2 people? How much of each ingredient would I need then? I've noticed that to go from 4 people, the original recipe for 2 people, I divide by 2. So this time you'll need to look at the original ingredients and divide them all by 2. Pause the video and have a try. So your recipe for 2 people should be 100 grams of flour, 25 grams of butter, 50 millilitres of milk and 30 raisins. Now let's try a different problem. For a school trip, there are 7 students for every 1 teacher. If 40 people are on the trip, how many students and teachers would there be? So to start to solve this problem, I'm using the counters to help me. So there are 7 students for every 1 teacher, so the blue circles stand for those 7 students and the yellow circle stands for the 1 teacher. And I noticed that in this ratio of 7 to 1, the total amount is 8. So now I can keep the ratio the same but start to build up the total. If there were 14 students and 2 teachers, that would be a total of 16. 21 students and 3 teachers, that would be a total of 24, and so on until I reach 40. So when I'm solving this kind of problem, I could draw it all out like I've shown you here, but I could also use my knowledge of multiplication to take a bit of a shortcut. I know that the ratio of students to teachers is 7 to 1 and the total is 8. I'm trying to get to a total of 40. I notice that if I multiply 8 by 5, I reach 40. So to work out the numbers of students and teachers, I need to multiply that ratio by the same amount, by 5. So 7 times 5 is 35, 1 times 5 is 5. So that means that if there are 40 people in total, 35 will be students and 5 will be teachers. Now have a try at solving the problems on the website. You can use the answers to check how you got on.